Hi all, in this video we are going to talk about context variable in Salesforce. But before that we need to understand what are variables in Salesforce or in any coding language. So variables are nothing but a small collection, or we can say small containers, which is used to temporarily store the data. What do I mean by that is, let's say I have some kind of data which I have to convert it to information. Now if I have data, I have to pass it through a system so that it processes the data and converts it to the information. So basically, as we can see, system is going to process the records. Now in order to process the record, it needs to store the data for temporary basis so that it can go ahead and process the record. So in order to store this data temporarily, we create variables in Salesforce or in any coding language. But in Salesforce, there are few variables that are predefined, and those are called as context variable. So these variables are defined by the Salesforce itself. We did not define it, they are been provided by the Salesforce itself. So there are multiple context variables. Few of them are, let's say, trigger.new, trigger.old, trigger.new map, old map, is insert, is update, and many more. But the most important are these four. Now trigger.new, let's understand first of all trigger.new. Trigger.new is nothing but it's going to return you the latest context of your record. What do I mean by that is, let's say the name of my contact is Salesforce in 5 minutes, and I have updated it to Salesforce in 6 minutes. So recently I have updated the record to Salesforce in 6 minutes. So this record, the recent record, I'm going to get it using the trigger.new. So let's understand it with a real-time example. Right now I have this contact named as community user, and as you can see I have also I do have a trigger on the contact itself as well, and I'm printing the trigger.new, which is a context variable again. Now what I'm going to do is, in the community user I'm going to update it to community user 2. So previously the name was community user, right? Community user, and now I'm updating the name to community user 2. So the recent data, this recent data will be available to us in trigger.new. So let's save it. So right now the name is updated to trigger community user 2. Now as we can see, this is the record that we have right now, and inside this, if I copy paste it completely and paste it inside the notepad itself or in the trigger.new, as you can see the contact id is this, and as we can see the name of the contact, first name is community, last name is user 2. Okay, so right now as you would have seen, I've updated the last name to user 2. So the recent record that I've just recently updated or created will be available to us inside trigger.new. On the other hand, if we want the older context of the record, what do I mean by that is, previously the name, let's say, was community user, and now I have updated to community user 2, and just recently I have updated, right, to community user 2. I just want the previous record, the previous update to it. So for that purpose we can use trigger.old. So trigger.old will return us the community user record, that is the just previous record or the older record, older version of the record. Let's view it with a real-time example. So right now I'm going to update it to trigger.old, and let's check it out. I'm going to update the community user first to community, normal community user first, and let's compare trigger.new and trigger.old. So first it was community user, and I am updating to community user 2. So this means trigger.old is going to hold the value of community user, whereas trigger.new will have the value of community user 2. Let's save it and let's check out in the debug. So this is trigger.new. Okay, let's copy paste it, and this is going to be trigger.old. So as you can see, the first name of is community, but the last name in trigger.new was user 2. On the other hand, in trigger.old, the last name is user. So what it is returning is basically it's returning just previous record to the update, the recently updated record, just previous update of the previous version of the record. Okay, that is community user. Before update it was this, after update I've got community user 2, that is holded by trigger.new, but the older version of the record is stored inside the trigger.old. One more thing that is important to note, that trigger.new and trigger.old returns the data in the form of list. Because let's say if someone is going to bulk upload the data from workbench to the salesforce, in that case trigger.new cannot just hold one value, it has to hold all the values that have been just bulk uploaded, right? So that's why trigger.new returns the data in the form of list. So please take that into the note. And another few of them are trigger.new map and trigger.old map. Now trigger.new map and trigger.old map are very similar to trigger.new and trigger.old. The only difference between trigger.new map and trigger.old map is that the data return is in the form of map. So trigger.new returns the data in the form of list, but trigger.new map is going to return the data in the form of map, where ID will be the key and map will be the whole contact or whichever record you are writing the trigger on. So this is trigger.new, trigger.old map. Trigger.is insert is used whenever you want to execute a particular code in case of insert only. So for an example, if I want a specific code to be ran in only insert conditions, right? So I can write if trigger.is insert, and then whatever I'm going to write inside it, right? Whenever the record is inserted, only in that case this block of the code is going to run, and in the rest of the time like update or delete, it's not going to run. So in order, if you want to control if the you have to do a certain kind of operation only during insert, you can use trigger.insert, and that's the same case with update, delete and undelete as well. So this is what the context variables in Salesforce are. If you found this video helpful, I request you to please like this video and subscribe to my channel.